Hello, everyone. Welcome to The Honest Climb. So, for those who do not know me, I am Honest. Honest Dragon. As you can clearly tell right there. I am a just regular, average, everyday League of Legends player. I have a goal to climb to Diamond. I'm going to climb to Diamond through discipline and hard work because I am not skilled at this game. I'm gonna be completely honest. Get it, honest. I'm gonna be completely honest, and I'm just not good at this game. Just cold hard truth. And I believe that hard work beats talent. So, I'm making this series to prove that to you. So, if you're watching and you're one of the people like me who wants to climb, but is not naturally gifted at the game, not very good at being very self-aware and figuring out what you're doing wrong.
Fucking me with the Kale ult. Hey, Kale doesn't have ult. Oh, it's so sweet. Oh, oh my god, the penta. That's a penta. That's a Yi penta. Oh my god. Oh god. G.
Let me know. Throw it in the comments. So, I'm gonna go through everything as far as what I do, a breakdown of my day-to-day on how I'm going to make this happen and actually climb and actually improve. So I have coachings often. I'm going to go over which ones I had last year as well, just to kind of give a perspective, because currently I am Silver 1, but I went from being hard stuck Bronze 5 a couple years ago to being now Gold. Hard stuck in Gold, but currently I'm Silver 1. I just finished placements and placed Silver 3. And so I'm climbing back to Gold now. And I want to go through all of the coachings that I had to get to this point, as well as kind of go over what my mindset is now going into a game, as well as a breakdown of some of my gameplay from back then and comparing that to my gameplay now. I am currently trying to main Akshan mid. Thank you for watching. If you're this far, clearly you're liking the video so far, feel free to drop a like and subscribe if you are having fun and if you're down. So let's focus on what I did in a coaching. Some harder.
Yeah, gotcha. Interesting. And when you're ahead as well, generally speaking, you're like ahead on levels and you're ahead of the curve and like items anyway. So that can be a good option to go for like an aggressive defensive item like Wits. So I don't know, if this is an AP Shyvana, okay, I mean, I don't even know what this build is, but I mean, this game could be like a Styrax game where you just go like Kraken, Styrax, and then you can go damage, or you can go like Kraken. Yeah, I mean, Essence Stream is fine. I'm just looking at other options.
So, real quick, for some context here, I used to not pay attention at all during the loading screens, and going over this VOD with Why Not, who is a pro player in Oceania, playing for, I believe it's Pentanet right now. That's dope. Shout out to Why Not. I used to literally, I would go grab some water, go to the bathroom, whatever, during the loading screen. But there is so much information that I could be using and utilizing. And so this is a clip from last year when I was jungling Master Yi. I am a Master Yi one trick. And now I've started moving over to mid lane this season exclusively. But last season I was a jungler. So why not coach me?
So going into this game, you're looking at your lanes. What are you thinking in general?
I'm thinking that Zoe could be bullied hard by Malzahar, but I feel like a good Zoe beats Malzahar.
Okay, Zoe gets bullied by Malz, potentially. Okay.
And then, obviously, I think Tom Kench will be fine on his own. So I want to like target the too squishy Jace Vayne bot, especially where there's no AP threat.
What's Siobhan gonna be up to?
I assume she's gonna be clearing a lot.
What do you know about Shyvana?
Because she's really like a farming champion. Like she can't really do anything until she's 6.
Yeah, so things you need to think.
Even then, she needs to look at Harvest procs to one-shot someone.
And she needs items for sure. But looking at this game, you want to be aware of a few things. You want to be looking at things and think about how lane's going to go prio-wise as well, and what they're going to be looking to do. So in general, Shyvana's probably going to be like full clearing, and then she'll probably look for like an early dragon, probably on the dragon spawn, potentially. You look at top lane, like this Camille chose to take no flash. She can potentially be a very easy gank target if she ever is into trade with Tom Kench. So being aware of what's happening, like top lane, can be really important. Also, no flash can mean they're a lot easier to dive as well. So you can look for like potential top lane dives with like juggling aggro with Yi. Can be very good.
And especially if I get like an early Rift Herald, I can...
Yeah, exactly. You can look to break platings.
If Tom Kench is like crushing it and he's sitting at 2 plates already,
you can probably Herald and threaten dive.
Killing her is worth,
definitely an option. Mid lane, like there's not really much kill pressure on either of them. If Zoe can land bubble, potentially you can kill Malzahar, but for the most part, it's probably just you just have to watch how it plays out. Bot lane, we kind of have double range. Kind of a weird lane, obviously, because it's Jace support. So you have to kind of like be aware that they probably do have kill pressure because they probably have like unexpected damage from Jace. So you always have to be careful about this kind of stuff. So yeah, being around bot lane, if you're looking to run around and get free kills as you this game, chances are like your options are like top lane and bot lane. It's just if top lane is playing and like trading aggressively, you can probably get free kills. Because when you're playing Yi, you gotta understand like the ins and outs of your champion. So the thing is like your win con as Yi is pretty much just like getting fed yourself and just killing everything. That's honestly your win con as Yi. And how you get fed is usually like solid clear start into like just running around the map getting kills. So are you looking to start this rebuff? Okay, you are.
So when I see that she's not even like that, nobody's coming and looking, I just decided to start it.
Okay, interesting. So now you got a bit of a weird map start. So what we're looking at here, we're looking at you starting red. You're looking at your bot lane starting kind of in lane, and I guess we can assume that they're going to be leashing her blue buff. So what's Shyvana's general path here?
That she's going to clear all 3 camps into going upward.
Cool. So what should you be doing here, do you think? What should your path be?
I'm pretty sure that I'll have enough time to clear all 3.
So
or potentially even just Krugs.
Interesting. So you go here into Krugs.
I ward over the wall, so that way I can Q to make it a little bit faster.
Gotcha. Okay. I mean, you also have all of these camps up too. So what you can do here is you can take red chickens, go into your top side, and then full clear down. And chances are you'll be happy. What will end up happening usually is Shyvana will clear like this. She'll run here. She'll go check her red buff, and then she'll either now do 3 things. She'll either run all the way down to your bot side. She'll either run into your top side, or she'll run for her Krugs. So the problem with doing this into, like, I don't know, if you do all 3 camps here, or do this into here, it's not good, because what you've done is you've reset her Krugs that she's probably going to be able to eat, the increased experience Krugs. If you clear all 3 camps, you actually clear slower than Shyvana does for sure. she's clearing the faster side of the jungle as well. So if you cleared all 3 camps, she should be like coming out of here, and she should like have more than enough tempo to be able to eat your side, or she could pretty cross back in and even eat your bot side. Meanwhile, you're like up here in an awkward position, and you're like hitting her camps, and she's gonna be able to like get them back. What you can do is you can just take 2 camps here, head back into your own jungle, dump a ward here. So if you ward here, that way you can tell if she's gonna run back into bot side. You can tell if she's running into your jungle. Or you can tell if she's running to Krugs.
It'll be telegraphed.
Exactly. So then you kind of like a checkmate option there. If she does this, she runs into her top side, and like you said, she has those 3 options: Krugs, top side, or your bot side. Obviously, in this situation, you've eaten your top side, so now you're running to your bot side. So you're either she's running to your bot side where you're running to defend it anyway, or she's running into your top side where it's not even there, or she's running into Krugs, where Krugs is like, she has to run from here all the way to Krugs, and by this point you've cleared these camps, and if she runs to Krugs, you can even like take crab here and then double crab. So you've effectively gained like 6 or 7 camps on her, purely because you have your own jungle to farm too. So people like, I reviewed a VOD on the bootcamp before as well, like a few days ago when I was in my session. That's the exact same thing of like a player who, these guys who are lane invading, like they're playing Kane, they're eating all these camps, and then they're like destroying their tempo and aren't able to like, they actually just lose like camps. They actually like lose experience because of it. So if we go here, you're doing Krugs right now. So at this point, like Shyvana's on her wolves, or like she's finishing her wolves. Okay, she's level 2 and she's here.
Yeah, I see that she's still level 2, and I'm like, she skipped her Gromp.
Yeah, she would have skipped her.
Likely.
More than likely she skipped her Gromp. So the timing is very, very unusual. So yeah, she's level 2. You've got rebuff. She's obviously not even watching. Really nice. Like, yeah, I mean that's okay. You can flash for first blood. You don't have to. Personally, what I would do here. So at this point before you Q, like I'll try and get a pause. So your autos are doing around 70 damage each. So you auto Q here, which is like really nice, it's clean. But at this point you kind of want to Q to confirm the kill. So Q auto obviously kills, you get the Q auto attack here. But she needs one more auto attack, right?
Yeah.
Right now, if you flash after her, you die for it, yeah?
Yes.
So, what you could do, right there,
it's just
you auto attack her.
One more time.
You autoed her there, and then chances are she runs out of range. You flash auto Q. So that means instead of queuing her over here and having to like flash after her, you've flashed her here. You Q her and she dies here. So the idea is that auto, before you auto Q here, you go for one more auto attack and then you go for the Q auto. And even if you need a flash for that one extra auto attack now, that's going to secure the kill. Because you actually, like mechanically speaking, you like auto Q there beautifully. Like that's a really beautiful auto Q.
I waited for the double auto and then Q'd.
Yeah, it was very, very, very clean. But yeah, what you should do is you should be playing for also, she actually lives because she actually eased the camp, and she gets right there. She actually eased the camp, and she gets a shit ton of healing. It's actually really crazy. It's probably a mistake by her as well. But yeah, the auto Q thing is really important. You can flash for the auto attack. So now you need to be careful because Camille's coming down. So if you walk the greedy way, you are going to die to Camille. Even if you walk to your blue off the safe way, Camille might look to invade you. So play here is just to go wolves for level 3. But you just do blue buff here. So then you think about where Shyvana is. So Shyvana's probably based to bot side, or maybe she invaded chickens for healing.
Yeah, so I immediately went straight to my bot side to see if she was coming.
See, chances are she doesn't do this. If she doesn't do any camp at all, it would be chickens, and then she might look red buff. So the moment I see my chickens, because she needs to heal off chickens. So you should probably path straight to your straight to bot crab if I were you. I know you're trying to see, or after checking this, you should go for bot crab, because now you might miss out on bot crab. As it is, a fight breaks out here, and I assume you just pick up the Vayne. Okay, it's Vayne flash. Nice. It's a shame. If only you auto for the kill. It's okay though. Here you go. So you're on crab here. Your Q gets it, and you should be able to just walk out and live. You need to ping more in general. I like how you pinged for assistance here, which was very good. But afterwards, I think you should like danger ping Zoe. You need to make sure you're communicating to your team. Because Zoe's on the way, you should ping like danger or like caution. Just so she understands that you don't want to go for this at all. Because right now Zoe's moving forward, but as it is, it's fine. So you go for your Krugs into like a recall maybe, or maybe you're trying to farm for your item.
Yeah, I think I'm just trying to get 1300, but
yeah, it looks like you just
then I
get one shot here. Yeah, so I think this is a case of just being greedy. You can just go for a pickaxe recall. Like you're not going to complain, or maybe just dagger double longsword. Towards going for it. I think pickaxe recall is really nice for you still. You have Hail of Blades, so getting 25 AD is really, really good. Yeah, so I think maybe just slamming the recall after Krugs. You need to like try and value your tempo more. Because the thing is, you have a campsite right now. Like you literally have a clear down angle here. So after getting Krugs off the map, going for a base is a really good option. So here we are. We have like, there you go, back to normal map state kind of thing. Cool. So here we are in another game. So what are we looking at here? We're looking at lanes, we're looking at how things should play out, what kind of matchups we're dealing with, who do we think's going to win, how can we get fed. That's like the bottom line with playing your champion. How do we get fed? So one thing you should be ultimately aware of, and you should be looking at, I'd say every single time as a Yi player, what summoner spell do you hate the most?
Probably Ignite.
What about Exhaust?
Oh, Exhaust too, yes.
So it's really important to understand, like, does the enemy champions have Exhaust? So in this game, Lulu and Veigar both have Ignite. It's kind of good for you, because it means that, like, Veigar can't get good recalls or can't, like, react to ganks by teleporting in, like the Camille did. There's absolutely no exhaust on their team, which is crazy good for you, because it means if you get onto Lulu, Vayne, Veigar, Hecarim, and like you can literally kill all of them very easily. Again, you want to look at runes. Like none of these guys have any resolve trees. Also very nice for you to like one-shot them and kill them. Can be a very, very, very good option to just like when you do get your items, you guys can just like fight if you have vision. Obviously, you have very strong scaling as well with Sona. So how do you think top matchup goes?
I think it's kind of a skill matchup, I'd assume. I mean, Maokai can heal a lot, but so can Mundo.
I mean, to be honest, it's like a tag. It's like a weird stag. Yeah, it's probably like the opposite of a skill. It's probably like it's an anti-skill matchup. It's like Mundo and Maokai, like they're just flogging each other. But
yeah,
realistically speaking,
really
I'd rather like have the Mundo side of this, as Mundo has the ability to like, I guess, poke and out pressure in general. Looking at this matchup,
and
yeah,
I'm seeing they have a lot more CC, so like
yeah, being aware of the CC of like of mainly like Lulu Polymorph is the main one. Veigar E should be pretty easy to avoid. Hecarim R should also be easy to avoid, and then it's just like not getting Maokai rooted. They actually like all five of them have some sort of CC with the Vayne Condemned too.
And like pretty much if any of us get caught by that, like even if the fight's favorable for us, somebody
you can just lose. Yeah, exactly. No, it's like even if it's favorable, you guys can just instantly lose with like good CC usage. Your team really hates CC. Like Yi, Katarina, obviously Lux, Sona are very, very like susceptible to CC. So yeah, looking at this kind of stuff though is like if this Maokai is ever like pushed up past halfway, like he can die very easily. Because if you come in for a gank, what ends up happening
is there's like nothing you can do.
Yeah, he's gonna get slowed by cleavers. You're gonna be hitting him, and he just like he has no movement abilities to get out unless you give him a path out. Unless like you stand here and he W's you, like you just don't give him a path out, and he should just die. So he's potentially an easy gank. So you can't really count that out. Bot side is gonna be weird because like chances are Sona will be like trading, and like I would expect that Sona and Cat could get like lower, and then in general they're gonna get the push. So you actually could look for also like kills bot side. This jungle matchup is pretty hard, I'd say in general. Like I'd imagine that you'd win it if you took Ignite, but you wouldn't win it if you took Flash. I think taking Flash is fine as well this game. I think it's good to get used to Flash.
I think that a good hack room beats a good Yi.
Yeah, until you get your items. When you get like Kraken Slayer, it starts to turn around quite a bit. But early game speaking, like you probably can't 1v1 him. Mid lane, like if your Lux lands a binding and like Veigar's up here, the thing with the Yi is he's hard. He's hard to like. You have to have space. You have to like actually have people pushing up in lanes to really get kills, unless you're going for like dives. And again, you can go for dives on like this. If this Maokai gets hard traded on and actually is like 300 health, you can go for dives on this Maokai, or on this Veigar. Definitely can. But in general, you want to be trying to get some like early game farm and be able to your goal this game is to be able to respond to like any opportunity you can while getting farm. So while trying to like pick up these kills, you want to like put yourself in the best position to be able to do that. So that could be like getting a fast level 3, like we said with like red buff. We could like red buff Krug's chickens and then like look at our lanes.
So another good thing is that why not give me specific ways that I could have played fights better, like this one right here.
There isn't really a way you can play this better. It's I guess the best thing you can do is walk as far over here as possible. That way he has to like commit to running all the way. Like if you wait here, he has to commit to running at max range. Max range Q him, and then I think he dies. Because I think by that point, if he walks around, this is going to be like gone. This is going to be timed out. So if you stand at the edge and wait for a max range Q, he dies here. So it's just like a very small mechanical thing. But Veigar played that mechanically well, and then you get cleaned up, it looks like. You still end up winning this game.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're definitely not eating camps. You're generally having too low CS early game.
And the cool thing is there's specific things I can do throughout the game that would keep my tempo up with my team and make me available and ready for more plays that I didn't have the opportunity to in these former games from last year.
You don't want to go for Wits End Rush. Going for Negatron Cloak here feels terrible. Like, don't tell me otherwise. It does feel abysmal.
Yeah.
Like, this is terrible.
Give me any extra
it literally gives you absolutely zero. It gives you 50 MR. Awesome. The Veigar's not going to one-shot you anymore.
Yeah.
It's a pretty rough thing. And this game, like, you can just go QSS later on in the game. So you're gonna have MR anyway. Sure. You should probably go Kraken Slayer into like, I don't know, Kraken Slayer into Bork or Kraken Slayer into Wits End, and then probably go like QSS. I think it's very good this game. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like you were behind the curve, and now you just ulti, run in and get double kill, and then suddenly you're fed, and the game's over.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. Double kill. It's massive. So now you obviously have enough gold for Wits End. Maybe you want a Herald, but I think you should just eat the wave. Maybe eat Krugs and then base, because you want a base for Wits End plus boots. So eating red's okay as well. Eating chickens is okay. This is okay. You need a base at this point, because now is when the next play's happening. You see, if you base after Krugs and run to your top side, you're here for this play.
So this is a mid coaching that I got from Eros Zillion. I'll leave both Why Not and Eros Zillion's information in the description below, but you can also check them out at bootcamp.lol. They're both coaches for the bootcamp, and they're awesome. I highly suggest you go get a coaching from them, and hopefully you enjoy. This was super informative, and I learned a lot, especially going from being a jungler to now moving into a lane. It's definitely quite the pivot, and so maybe you'll enjoy this.
So to start things off, like when you're learning a lane, I get that, it gets boring and you want to play several champions, but I'd say maybe like stick to 2 at most in the mid lane, and then maybe have one as your secondary. Like if you're going top as a secondary role, like do 2 mid, 1 top. I know if you do jungle in lower elos, like as secondary, you're always going to get jungle, right? So
yeah,
totally get that. So if you want to learn 2 mid, 1 top, that's perfectly fine. And the reason I say this is like, you're still learning, right? And And if you're playing several champions, like you're not more so developing your macro at that point. You're just trying to learn champions and develop your micro. You're not at the stage of League of Legends yet where you have the macro to be able to play everything. And like, let me give you an example, right? Like, so when you started learning how to drive, did you learn to drive on several cars or just one?
Just one.
Right? One, right? And you might be saying like, oh well, like Annie is kind of like cheating, right? Because she doesn't have much micro, right? So it's like a cheating champion, like everyone says, like no skill champion. But if you think about it, Annie's kind of like similar to like a Civic or like a smaller car, right? Like when you're kind of learning to drive, when you do your drive test, you do it on that car you practiced on, and it's like that one car. It's not like you're doing it on an SUV or anything like that, right? The thing is, like when and the reason for that is because, you know, you're able to focus more on the road. You don't have to worry about the car's functionalities. And yeah, that's basically it, right? And now let's say like 2 years into the future, however many years you've been driving, I'm sure if you were to ever drive an SUV or rent a car out now, like you'd be perfectly fine doing so, no?
Correct.
And that's sort of the comparison I'm trying to make. If you're serious about improving, so I'm not sure what your end goal for this coaching session is, but if your goal is to like seriously improve and get up in elo, like if you want to be plat, for example, if you want to go from gold 4 to plat 4, I think the best way to do so is narrow your champion pool down to 2 champs in the mid lane and then 1 champ for your off role, right? And when you don't get those roles, I want you to dodge. Like that's it, right? Like don't try to play anything else. Stick to 3 champions at most. And I'm telling you, like you're like, well, it gets boring, blah blah blah. Well, then go on your main and start playing jungle again, right? Or do something else. Or go on like, yeah, I get it's a Smurf. So if you don't really care about elo, then by all means play whatever you want. But this is applicable to like any position. So in jungle as well, right? Like if you're serious about climbing, like practice on your Yi or Mumu or whatever, and that's it, right? So I'm gonna open up this spreadsheet as well. This is more so how to climb like ranked if you care more about OP, but I know you're more worried about macro, so I can skip over this if you want. If you want me to go over it,
No,
I can
I'm down to go over it.
Okay, so the way it works is like this is more so applicable for your main, I guess, when you're worried about OP. But I'm sure when you like first start out the day, you know, if you go into game 1 right off the bat, you'll find that like your eyes aren't really looking towards the map, your hands are a bit slow, your movements are a bit slow, you're not, you know, you're kind of getting warmed up, right? And I'm sure if we were to look back and if there was like a website that showed your stats on like the first game of the day, how many of those you actually lost, I'm sure it'd be a negative one, right?
Yeah.
A lot of people don't know, like they don't really pay attention to it, but what's really helpful to do, and most high elo players do this, to be honest, like if you watch the streams or whatever, like before they go into game 1, they'll either do a normal game, like they'll do an ARAM, or they'll do flex. Like I know Sanchovies does a flex game before he ever does a solo queue game. But if you don't want to do any of that and you find like it's a waste of time, at least go on this website. It's called like loldodgegame.com/skillshot. By the way, I'll send you that whole document after today's lesson, so you don't have to worry about writing anything down.
Heck yes.
Okay, come on, load up. Okay, this usually loads right away. There we go. Okay. So what it is, it's just practice. I don't know if you've ever heard of this website, but like you're right clicking, avoiding, you can D to flash, you can E to dash, you can you Q to do whatever, right? It's just practicing and it's it's helping warm up your reflexes, it's helping warm up your hands, your mouse right clicks, your QWE, like stuff like that, right? Your DF. So it warms all that up. Yeah, this is a good website to kind of warm up if you're, you know, while you're in champ select or while you're in queue or anything like that, if you feel like normal games are a waste of your time. But I usually personally just do a Smurf game or something like that. The next thing you should do is play in buckets. So if you are going to play 5 games a day, like spread it out, right? So play 3 games, take a 30-minute break, then go to game 4, game 5. If you lose 2 games in a row, so let's say you lose game 1 and 2, right? right away take this break, because otherwise this is going to be your mental, like, oh my god, I was playing to go up but now I lost 32 LP. I went down 32 LP. I was trying to go up 32 LP. Now you're playing catch up and everything, and your mental is all like impacted. It's not good to play with that mentality. The best thing to do is just take a break and then play again once you're feeling 100%. And to that point, like, you should not be playing ranked when you're angry, tilted, sad, or distracted, because if you're serious about climbing, you need to be functioning at 100%. How has your farming been? I didn't check that out.
It's been all right. I've had better.
So I think
so I've basically just been like playing Akshan and Annie for the most part, and Talon.
Okay, that's fair. So I know most of the time, like, you'll hear like, oh, challenger players get like 10 CS a minute, blah 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 blah. That's bullshit. Like, don't even listen to that. As long as you're averaging, let's say, like this, like anything above 6.5, I think that's okay. As long as you have above 50% KPA, that should be good. Otherwise, like 7+ is ideal, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like this game, you had 7+, great, right? But what's not acceptable is 4.4, 5 point whatever, 4.3. Like, if you were to look at your average CS, like Akshan is okay, I guess, but yeah, that needs to be improved with Annie, I suppose. And like, you might be asking, like, how do I improve my CS and whatnot? We'll kind of go over it in the VODs. I think one of the biggest mistakes you might probably be making is like not recalling at the right moment, or not managing your wave in correct state. So we'll try to go over that when we do like a VOD review.
Mm-hmm.
Another thing you could do if you're really serious about improving CSing, so this is like a 30-minute exercise. If you don't want to do it, by all means, you don't have to, but like, I'd recommend it just because it does help a lot. It's a 30-minute exercise. What you do is you go into practice still and then try to get 100 CS at 10 minutes, right? You're assuming this is like a normal game, so don't cheat in the practice tool. Like, don't do auto refresh cooldowns, don't do like unlimited mana, all that stuff. If you need items, you got to get it back for it. If you want to reset mana, you got to recall the base and then walk back. So you're going to try to get 100 CS at 10 minutes. Once you've done that, you want to get 100 CS at 10 minutes without using abilities. And once you've done that, you want to get 100 CS at 10 minutes without abilities and without items. 100 CS may be a little bit hard, so let's say 85 for you is reasonable.
Okay.
I'm fine with 85, right?
So I've started doing this drill that he talks about literally almost daily with Tapchin. And we just share screen and clear waves together. And it's been super effective. I've been playing way better as far as my farming. Maybe not quite to the level that I'm like that my goal is here, but this drill is awesome. I highly recommend. And he teaches me a lot more about laning in this coaching session than I ever knew before.
In-game goals. So a lot of times people go like, hey, Eros, like, you tell me, like, you teach all this macro to me, but how am I supposed to know how to apply it? So this is like a in-game goals checklist that the mid lane coaches kind of created. And what it does is, like, so maybe after a game or during a game, you want to have this checklist, maybe on a side monitor, or if you want to look at it after, by all means. What you want to do is you want to go through the checklist. So did you win Scuttle Fight? Did you help your jungler get Scuttle Fight as a mid laner? If you did, great, check it off, right? If you didn't, put an X and ask yourself why. So why didn't you win the Scuttle Fight? Is it because, your jungler just didn't want it? In which case, there's not much you could have done, right? Or is it because, you were shoved in, you didn't have priority, you weren't managing your wave state? What could you have done differently, right? So that's what I want you to ask yourself in terms of these in-game goals. Like, you should be focusing on getting Scuttle Fights. And if not, why not, right? Next thing, get 75 farm at 10 minutes. So try to focus on CSing. Like, don't just try to like give up CS and poke or whatever. Like, try to get 75 farm at 10 minutes. If you get this, great. If you didn't, why not, right? Maybe you just wanted to roam and get kills and all that stuff, which is fine, right? If that's working out, by all means.
This is so smart to have. Even
Yeah.
even with like jungling.
Yeah, no, it's really good. So maybe you can ask Flaris if he has something similar. Be like, hey, like Eros had this checklist. Like, do you have anything similar as a jungler that we should be looking out for in terms of objectives? Next thing is, you want to take plates by the 14-minute mark. Do you know why I say 14-minute mark?
Because that's when plays fall.
That's when plates fall, exactly. So that's why I say, you want to take the first herald before 14 minutes, and you want to, well, this is kind of like a jungle thing too, right? So you want to take plates before the 14-minute mark, and you want to get plates. So there's often a debate of like, what's better, Rift Herald or Dragon, right? First Dragon or first Rift. I don't know if you want me to go into this.
Yeah, I'm done.
Yeah. Because it's kind of jungle now that I'm going into. But I know you're a jungler as well. So, I mean, has Flaris answered what's better?
It definitely says Rift over
He
First
said Rift.
Dragon. I don't know if he did say it, but I'm saying that's what I assume he would say.
Rift is really good in a sense that it's only if you use it properly, right? Like First Dragon stats are kind of useless. The Rift is really important when, let's say you get Rift and then you go top, you set up a dive, right? You kill them, you kill the champion. So once you kill someone, that's 450 gold, right? That's 300 gold plus the assist. Plus 150 for the assist. And then Rift Herald gives how many plates, do you know?
2
plates. And then if someone dies, right, you're obviously going to have time to get tower plates as well. So assuming, like, it's very easy to get the first 2 tower plates. It's the last 2 that are hard. So what you should be doing is getting the first 2 tower plates first, which gives you, 320 gold. Then you get the next 2, which is another 320 gold from the Herald. And then you get, like, a bonus. What's the bonus? 450 gold for first tower?
Yep.
Something like that, right? Do the math. How much gold is this?
That's
crazy
outrageous.
Amounts, right?
Yeah.
Right? So people don't think about it like this. And not only that, but their top laner now also loses experience because you set up a dive and you killed him, right? So that's how you would use First Herald. A lot of people, what they do is just use First Herald and they don't use it correctly. Like in that situation, it's bad. But like, yeah. Anyway, just wanted to quickly go over that with you. Take down first tower 60 minutes, first dragon 12 minutes, buy control ward every 5 minutes, have at least a 50% KPA, get 6 kills or, assists at 20 minutes, 150 farm. So all this stuff is just like, it's meant to guide you in the right direction, like get Baron by the 25-minute mark, boom, check mark, right? It's supposed to guide you towards the right direction.
I've utilized this and much more. I mean, I've gone through boot camps, through Cloud9, training grounds, through pro guides, you name it. I've probably done it. I even got a one-on-one coaching with Wuju Senshi. Unfortunately, I did not record that, but I have learned a lot, and that still only got me to where I am now, which is barely hitting gold. Maybe I think I peaked at gold 2, maybe at best. And so I am going to document my whole journey for you, the viewer, to be able to see exactly what it takes to be good at this game. So if you are interested and want to follow and drop a subscribe down, that'd be awesome. Like the video if you support what I'm doing. I would really appreciate it. And comment what you would like to see or any suggestions of coaches that you have like experienced or like tried out, and tell me what exactly helped you get better or get to a higher elo in your journey or your climb. Also tell me what's not worked. If there's a coaching that you've done that has not worked, drop those in the comment below and maybe I'll check them out. This is all for this first video. My next video will be, I'm going to try to upload as often as possible, but probably 3 times a week. You can expect that I will be uploading almost daily eventually daily. Yeah, let's go with that. I appreciate y'all for watching, especially if you've made it this far. I know this is probably a longer video than you're used to, so appreciate it. This is episode 1 of The Honest Climb, baby. We out. Peace.